In today's class, we will see how to attempt the table type of question in academic task 1 writing in IELTS. As you know that all the graph type of questions are written in same way. So whether it is table, bar graph, line graph, pie chart, all can be written in same way. But yes, the images will be different. Today we are seeing the table. Let us start with the question. The table details the international tourist arrivals in millions in 8 countries in 2009 and 2010, and the changes are given in percentage. You can see that we are given 3 columns and 8 rows for 8 different countries. Now, before starting to write the task, let us see the format. Firstly, you will write the introduction. In introduction, you will paraphrase the prompt, and in the second line, you will mention how the data is being calculated. After writing introduction, you will leave the space of one line and you will mention the overall. In overall, you will mention the overall trend of the graph. Here it is table, so you will mention the overall trend of the table. After mentioning that, you will mention the maximum and minimum data. Also, if there is some exception, you can add it as well. But remember that you do not have to add the numerical values here. After writing overall, you will leave the space of one line and start writing body paragraphs. In body paragraphs, you will mention and explain each and every trend in detail. And make sure you have to make the comparisons in whichever data it is possible for you to make. You can make 2 body paragraphs. Now let us start attempting the task. Starting with the introduction, the table compares the number of tourists arriving in 8 countries in 2009 and 2010. The change in number is calibrated in percentage. Here you can see that I have changed several words from the question with the synonyms, and I have followed the format of paraphrasing the question and then mentioning how the data is calculated. So this is how you will form the introduction of your report. Now let us move towards the overall. We will start with the overall linker. In general, tourism rose slightly in the United States, Spain, the UK and Italy, and increased dramatically in Turkey, China and Germany. Figures fell in Hong Kong and were stable in France, which had the most tourists. Here you can see that I have mentioned the overall trend of the graph, that for several countries it rose slightly, for several countries it increased dramatically, and for some it was stable. And you can also see that I have not included the numerical data here. And I have highlighted several words which are the markers that are used in the task 1 to show the increase and decrease and the overall trend of the graph. Now let us see the body paragraphs. Looking first of all at France, numbers were unchanged at 76 million tourists in both years. The visitors to United States increased by 1.5% from 66 to 67 million, and Spain followed a similar trajectory. In parenthesis, 55 to 56 million tourists. Tourists to the UK surged by double that rate, 3.6% in parenthesis, and overtook Spain in 2010 by 1 million visitors. In Italy, the rate of growth was slower at 2.3%, translating to a growth to 45 million. Numbers of Turkey visitors inclined past Italy, 33% to 46 million. Here in this body paragraph, you can see that I have compared each and every country excluding China, Germany and Hong Kong. I have used the words such as inclined, growth, slower, surged, similar trajectory, increased, and so on to compare the data and to link the information. Now let us see the body paragraph number 2. We have started with the linker. Secondly, there were also significant increment of travelers in China, which went from 22 to 34 million. In parenthesis, of 55% growth, and Germany a 109% expansion to 24 million. The lowest numbers were in Hong Kong as tourism fell by 11% to and at 9 million. Here in this body paragraph, you can see that there was not much to compare here. So we have used just two linkers, significant increment and fell by. So this is how you write your task for the table type of question. It is not compulsory for you to mention each and everything that is mentioned in the table. Just select the data which you can compare easily, in which you can use the complex language which has some significance in the data, and so on. Now let us see the useful language for attempting this type of question. You can see verbs, adjectives and adverbs. Now I will show you how to use them. The verbs such as rise, increase, grow, go up to, climb, boom, pick, fall, decline, decrease, drop, dip and so on can be seen by you. And the adjectives such as sharp, rapid, huge, dramatic, substantial, considerable, significant, slight and so on. Such adjectives can be seen. And finally, the adverbs such as dramatically, rapidly, hugely, massively, sharply, steeply and so on can be seen. So this brings us to the last part of this lecture, that is tips for effective performance in this type of task. Firstly, don't just list the data. That is, in the table, sometimes the written phrases are given. So do not just copy them. Secondly, don't try to describe everything. As I mentioned before, just select the main data or the significant data and use the comparison words to describe them. Thirdly, use the linkers accurately. By using the linkers, you are connecting your information. So it is very important for you to use them correctly. Fourthly, do not give your opinion. As you are writing a report, the examiner is not looking for your opinion. So make sure you are not mentioning your view there. Then, do not forget to check your task once it is finished. It is very important for you to check your task after finishing it, because we always make minor errors while we are writing, and these errors can easily be rectified if we are rechecking our written work. So make sure you spare the time of 1 minute to check your task. And lastly, refer the sample task. By referring the sample task, you can get to know about the various ways of comparing the data. You can also get to know several uncommon words, and you can use them in order to score higher in LR section, that is lexical resource. So this is the end of this lecture. I hope it is understood by you. If you have any queries related to whatever is discussed in this class, please write in the comment section. We will solve your doubts as soon as we can. Thank you.